Yeah, how important do you think it is to have, great bedside manner as a doctor, like a heart surgeon?
It is huge. Knock on wood, I've been doing this for now almost 10 years. I've never gotten sued. And part of it is, and doing the most high risk stuff, I think having a good bedside manner, meaning I connect with the patient, I connect with the family, I kind of bring them in close. And so if you don't have that connection, if you can't establish that bond, then even if things go okay, it's still, but if things don't go okay, then they're that much more sort of inclined to probably, be bitter and angry and do things that they may have not otherwise. I think it's huge. You have to have good bedside manner. You really do, and not just the days of the surgeon or marching in and screaming and yelling and barking orders at everybody. That's gone. You can't do that. Now you can't be like that to other team members, the nursing staff, other providers. You can't do that. So you have to know how to play well in the sandbox with other people.
I guess that was my next question. Like, is that a cliche, or was that true, that cliched profile of the all-important or the self-important surgeon that that has the God complex and that just sort of like walks in and like almost a Doctor Strange before the I don't know if you watch it in the Marvel movies, right? Before the accident, where he's just like this completely self-involved. Is that a cliche and not really reality, or are the doctors like that?
That was reality. I mean, when I trained, I saw that a lot. That was surgical training, especially back in the day, was like military. It's like it was very, very intense. Top down, not
break you down and build you up. You're nothing. You're a flea.
Absolutely. It was really, really intense, super intense. But it's not like that anymore. It just, that kind of stuff won't fly anymore. It's a different world. It's a different world.
What's the greatest, most gratifying moment you've had to date as a surgeon?
I think for me, 90% of all the heart transplant programs in the country have been around 20 plus years. So when I had the opportunity to start one from scratch on Long Island, right? Long Island had never had, Long Island is huge population. I felt, and that was the ultimate high risk. I mean, talk about if I failed all the Manhattan programs, it's the most competitive market in the world for what I do, for almost what anybody does. But so everyone was praying for our failure. And when that first transplant came and we did it and it went great, that was the proudest moment of my professional career because so much was riding on that. It was, obviously for the patient, she took, trust in us to do it. She trusted that we were going to do, right by her, being, brand new. Long Island, it was a big moment for Long Island. It was a big moment for the hospital. And for my career, it was by far and away the proudest moment.
What's your biggest disappointment so far in your career?
I think I rarely lose a patient, but the wins, all the many, many, many wins don't always make up for the few, random losses here and there. When I lose a patient, it's just something that it's hard. It really takes a toll on you. It's not, and so I think learning how to just keep going and do right by the next patient is something that I'm still learning to master. But I'm glad that I get the opportunity to be so closely involved in people's lives and that they trust me with their lives. It's a huge, it's a burden and a blessing at the same time, So it can be simultaneously the most exhilarating and also most disappointing thing,
I can imagine. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. And where are you going from here? So what's your next stop in? Like, are you just is it more of the same? Or are you involved in research? What are you doing next?
I really want to help change heart failure care. I think that the way we think about heart failure, the way we treat heart failure, I think is not where it needs to be. I think we need to get folks looked at earlier. I think they need to be seen by specialists earlier. So my interest really is in helping shape some of the system of medicine, of heart failure care. So where I'm involved now, I'm in, part of Medical City, a big health system, which is part of HCA, the biggest healthcare system in the United States. And my goal is to, help within the system to change heart failure care for the better. So that's what I'm really going to try to push as much as I can. And by doing so, hopefully help many, many people and prevent unnecessary deaths, I think, is my goal.